Man, I'm so excited for April of this year, the year of our Lord 2020. The entire month is going to be 420, and that's the stoner number, which means it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so lit, and we can all just chill. Man, if only we got the entire month off.
Be careful what you wish for. Hi everybody, happy 420. So a couple of things before we get started. My neighbors in this cul-de-sac are having a social distancing party where they're all hanging out 6 feet apart from each other. So they're being loud. So if you hear that, that's what that is. But it's 4:19, so I really need to be filming this video and, getting it out. Second of all, I am in Virginia, where THC flower is not legal, but CBD flower is. And that's what this is. So don't, call the cops on me. Hello, 911. Yes, somebody on the internet is doing a marijuana. No. Today we're going to read a 3-issue Batman Shadow of the Bat series called Batman Leaves of Grass. And before you're thinking, oh, it's about that Walt Whitman poem, no, here's the synopsis. Batman and Robin team up in order to stop Fluoro and Poison Ivy from taking over the world by making everyone addicted to marijuana. Honestly, sounds like Praxis. The cover of the first issue, we got Poison Ivy looking cute as hell. Okay, so we start out, this drug dealer guy is like, yeah, this is the best weed I've ever sold, and it's so cheap. And then a car almost hits him, and Batman saves him. Batman gives us some backstory. There's a drug war raging in Gotham. Why are they fighting over weed? A new supplier is providing dealers with genetically enhanced marijuana at half the cost of their regular score. Established suppliers are taking a bath. What? What does that mean? Is it like the weed is so relaxing that it feels like you're taking a bath? Is that what that means? I'm assuming that's what that means. Or then one has turned to brutal force to try to keep their dealers in line. Oh yeah, those really mean and violent weed dealers. If it's so cheap and so easy to get and they're giving it to everybody, then why are they fighting? They're totally showing this dude's butt. I'm very uncomfortable. We already know that this Batman is a yikes Batman because he says, in some cultures, saving your life would make you my slave, but since this is Gotham, I'll settle for a little information. Please, can you at least give us Batman apologists something to work with? So Batman gets some information out of him, and the guy's just like, can you, chill for, a sec? And Batman's like, no. So I guess all of the drug dealer guys are meeting and chilling when these 2 sexy leather ladies come in who like to play with knives, and they just, fight everybody. Telesetti, Eva Green, and Holly are protecting the dealers. Tell him we do our job well, and we make examples too. And then a guy screams. So I guess they're protecting all of the people who are dealing this stuff from the very dare-like drug dealers. Okay, so Poison Ivy is in Arkham. They're giving her plants, which I feel like is a big mistake, huge. I'd rather spend a minute with a plant than a month with any man. God, what a mood. They talk about her hatred of men. Misandry. So Jeremiah Arkham says that somebody brought her some flowers but didn't leave a card, and she says, flowers have meaning, and I can tell what that message is. So I don't need a card. And he decides not to give them to her. So Tim Drake is in school, and his friend Norris comes up to him, says that, he was stressed and he needs to learn how to chill out. And what do you know? Right then, kids are smoking weed. And apparently Tim doesn't know what weed smells like. Want a hit? Are you insane, Mason? Smoking grass in school? Right, so this was published in 1996, so lots of really outdated weed references. It's very funny. Loosen up, Drake. Everybody does it, except wimps like you. They offer it to his friend Norris, and Tim, tries to break this guy's hand or something. Oh my god, is it just me or does Tim look like Roman Roy from Succession here? Oh my god, I hate it. That stuff's poison! Tim, it's impossible to overdose on it. Oh my god, do your research. Why shouldn't I smoke it if I want? And then the guy falls, and Tim says, that's one good reason. Why? You might... What? Why did you fall? What? Tim's telling Bruce about how everybody in school is smoking it. And he's like, what should I do? And Bruce says, you could report them. Bruce, you absolute narc. Tim's like, that would ruin their lives. And he's like, and what about it? Oh my god, this panel is so funny the way that they're oriented. Have you ever been tempted? No. We go through Ivy's backstory. Apparently some guy named Jason Woodrue, who was a botanist, who did know better, gave her some poisons and stuff and made her poison Ivy. The pain left, but the power remained. In the deep, never satisfied need to dominate men. There is like a weird theme about like domination and submission in this arc. So Jeremiah Arkham is looking up, hey, what are those flowers that person was trying to give poison ivy? What do those mean? And yeah, they say, hey girl, we're busting you out. And the people busting her out are the leather ladies. I'm just gonna call them the leather ladies. There's some drug dealers. Batman goes and messes them up. This is like the least exciting part and the least funny part. A handful of weed, yet they were willing to kill and die for it. Yeah, why? Just legalize it and this won't be an issue. Even Gordon is like, the more we wage our war on it, the more people want to use it. Sometimes I wonder if we ought to. Well, sometimes I just wonder. So the leather ladies want Poison Ivy to go into their underground lair, and Poison Ivy's like, no, I do not go underground. Ivy, I'm sure it'll be fine if you go underground if you just get some grow lights. And like, clearly we've got a weed thing going on, so I'm sure it'll be fine. So the girls try to fight her, but she has toxins in her blood. So she's good at fighting, but then somebody ties her up and she goes, you! And that's the end of this issue. Next issue, Reefer Madness. That's what I'm calling this video. Issue number 2, well, issue number 57 of Batman Shadow of the Bat. You know how, comics. Next issue, Vengeance of Poison Ivy. I mean, this is a pretty cool cover, actually. And what do you know? The person who just tied Ivy up in the end of the last issue is Jason Woodrue, the maniac who made her what she is today. And now he's going by Fluoro or Floronic Man. So Ivy's like, why did you bust me out of Arkham? And he's like, I don't remember. Because he smoked so much weed, he forgot why he busted her out of Arkham. I don't think that's how it works, but okay. She's telling him she really doesn't want to go underground, so he offers her $10 million to do it. I thought he forgot why he busted her out of Arkham, but now he's offering her $10 million to work with. Oh my god, I don't know. Harvey Bullock is like, there's no clues here. So he walks away, and then Batman collects all of the clues. So Floronic Man talks about Swamp Thing, and I guess Swamp Thing or Swamp Thing's daughter beat him, but Star Labs decided to take his head and regrow him. And while they were regrowing him, the person who worked there smoked an awful lot of grass and grew it as well. Right next to the specimen at Star Labs. So apparently Star Labs is just a lit place to work. So when he was being regrown, he absorbed all of the weed around him. So now he just loves weed. And now he grows it. And he's decided that he's gonna save the world with marijuana. Unlike most villains, I don't want to rule the world. I only want to get it stoned. He's made tons of money and Ivy loves it. She loves the money. And she's like, okay, but like, what am I supposed to do for the money? And he says, give me 24 hours of your time and then we'll have a baby. Okay. Norris comes up to Tim and Tim's like, oh, I'm busy tonight. And he's like, bummer. I thought we might get together. I have a couple of tickets for the new movie. What new movie? That's not how people talk. What? Norris. Then the mean stoner kid comes up and is like, haha, you should take me to the show. I'll bring weed. And Tim was like, oh, well, I was gonna, do something else, but never mind. I guess now that this guy is being a weirdo, I can come to the movie with you. Tim, what? Batman's going through all the evidence he found. The footprint was too small to be Ivy's. There were bat droppings, stuff from underneath the city, and bits of marijuana. So whoever is doing the really dank stuff is also the person who freed Ivy. He asks Tim if he can figure it out. Bat droppings indicate a church? No, a cave. Tim. A church? Tim, you're in a place right now full of bat droppings. Are you in a church? No, you're in a cave. Tim. World's second greatest detective, everybody. Eventually, Tim figures it out, but he's like, mind if I sit this one out? It's something personal, and Batman just doesn't care. So Fluoro is collecting Ivy's blood so that they can have an entirely new life form, a true fusion of flesh and plant. I'm not entirely sure why. He's already growing the weed, so what? I don't know. This is such a weird story. Batman finds the lair and the guys all try to beat him up. Tim can't find Norris anywhere. Oh my god. So it turns out Norris is at the park hanging with the cool kids. We can tell they're cool because they're smoking weed and these two are making out with each other. What does his shirt say? He's wearing a jacket with a smiley face that says large. What does it mean? I'm not sure about this. Suit yourself, man. Nobody's forcing you. Okay, yeah, that's how, like, stoners actually are. But then he's, like, really amping up the peer pressure, like, at least you ought to give it a chance. It's wicked. Why do they keep saying wicked? Are we in Gotham or are we in Boston? Way to go! Suck deep! No! Oh my god, he breathes it out. Told you, man, there's nothing to be afraid of. Just relax and go with the flow. So this guy has a bad time on it. Honestly, it would have been more realistic if they gave him an edible and, like, at first, for, like, 2 hours, he was like, I don't feel anything. And then all of a sudden it hits him and it's way too much. Especially because a lot of, like, nerdy kids who don't know anything about weed are like, no, I would never smoke it because smoking is bad for you, but I would eat it because you can eat weed, can't you? And, like, oh, honey, you got a big storm coming. So Norris starts screaming. Ivy's about to, like, peace out because she's got her money when all of a sudden the leather ladies bring in Batman. Okay, next issue. All throughout this, somebody's telling us about weed and the history of marijuana. Spoiler alert, it's Tim. Smoking the drug produces feelings of relaxation and well-being. And then, like, the nice things, it's just a normal text. But then, like, the bad things, torpor, confusion, paranoia, and frightening hallucinations are all in, like, bold. So Norris is having hallucinations and is not having a good time. But that makes Tim able to find him. So Tim runs up. Is Tim taking his jacket? Tim takes his jacket off to put on this kid. Oh, Tim. Oh, my God. Norris, it's me, Tim Drake. Honestly, if I were, like, freaking out and some friend just came up and said their full name and then you're gonna be all right and then put their jacket on me, I don't know. I think I would freak out more, actually. Batman's like, I guess Batman woke up and he's like, Fluoro, you've been pushing the super skunk in Gotham? Oh my god. Oh my god, somebody please make a strain called super skunk. That's really funny. Fluoro tells him his whole plan about how it's actually, like, really good. He's doing a good thing for the world by getting everybody stoned. But Batman's a narc. He's not having any of it. Poison Ivy decides that she wants Batman and Fluoro to fight each other for some reason. So she kisses Batman and she says that if Batman wins the fight, Batman gets to go free. And Fluoro's like, why? You get to turn on the world, Fluoro, if you win. But why? He already won. I don't know. So Ivy just wants to see them fight, I guess. I don't know, because, like, misandry? I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Tim's talking about how weed was legal in the earliest American colonies. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson both farmed the crop. Yeah, and at least George Washington smoked it, actually. I'm pretty sure that he would, like, write down, like, which strains were, like, the dankest. So I guess a police officer comes to the scene of Norris's, and he's like, I need answers. And Tim's like, I honestly don't know anything. And then the kid with the smiley face jacket is like, I I guess I can give you some answers. Okay, kid, so now you're gonna snitch? Jeez, thought you were cool. I do really appreciate, though, Tim points out that it was a prolonged and racist campaign by the tabloid press that had hastened Hemp's demise. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, like, the paper industry or some other industries also had a hand in it. I mean, that would check out with, you know, America. But yeah, like, there were a lot of really racist aspects to it. I'm pretty sure even the fact that we call it marijuana is tied to, like, trying to make it seem, like, Mexican and spooky or whatever, like, instead of us calling it cannabis. And, yeah, I remember reading that one of the points that they were trying to make in the trial that made it illegal was, oh, we can't have it be legal because it makes white women want to date men of color. Like, just a lot of really racist things. And then, of course, in the implementation, the arrests have disproportionately affected, say, like, for instance, black men, Latino men, people of color. Just over 50 years later, in 1990, almost 400,000 Americans were arrested for its possession or use. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's not how anything should happen. Don't like that. I'm literally, like, not invested in this fight at all that Batman's going through with Fluoro. Fluoro's just like, I'm trying to save the world, and Batman's like, punch. So I guess Batman figures that since Fluoro isn't human and that since he'll grow back, it's fine if he just, like, decapitates him. So he does that. Next time, maybe you'll regrow in a better frame of mind. Well, I mean, yeah, if, you know, you regrow him in, like, an actual sterile environment. Listen, I don't know anything about science, but why is Star Labs just letting this dude, like, grow and smoke weed in their basement while they have this, like, superhero guy whose head is regrowing? What? So the leather ladies are about to save the whole operation, but again, Batman's a narc. Tim is like, is my friend gonna be okay? I've given him a strong sedative. Apparently it triggered a schizoid breakdown, but he might be over it by morning. You know, marijuana has several beneficial properties. Patients with multiple sclerosis, ME. Did this 1996 comic just mention ME? Was ME something different back then? Also, does it help with that? Anybody who has that, let me know. I mean, I know it helps because I'm pretty sure ME is comorbid with, like, fibromyalgia and a lot of pain things. Is pain necessarily a part of ME? I don't know. I mean, I, like, find it very useful for fibromyalgia pain. It's, like, basically the only thing that works. Like, listen, there was a time when I was prescribed hydrocodone, and I was prescribed it, but it did have so many side effects, and, like, it wasn't really that helpful. Like, with CBD, especially in CBD heavy strains, like CBD flower, I've been able to function. And, like, if you just took that away from me, like, I would probably have to end up on painkillers that would have a lot more side effects and could do a lot more damage. But it'll never be legalized for medical use while hooligans like you two abuse it on the streets. Dude, I mean, alcohol is legal. Cigarettes are legal. Like, I feel like weed is a lot less harmful if you know, aren't a total fool about it, and if you know, are careful with it and you don't, like, go driving after, or, you know, don't, like, take the SAT or whatever. Tim is like, we aren't hooligans, and he's like, teenagers, pah, you're all the same. Okay, boomer. Yeah, so the leather ladies are like, we're gonna fight you, Batman, and he just punches them both at the same time, and they're out. He's like, Ivy, you're going back to Arkham, and she's like, she's gonna go spend her money, and Batman can't move because she kissed him, and you know, he's paralyzed, but just for an hour. Very generous of her not to kill him, actually. I mean, honestly, Queen. Oh my god. They should adapt this in the Harley Quinn animated series, which I have a video coming out on. Gordon is saying, like, there's been a lot less mugging and assault and armed robbery and everything. The only thing there's been more of is road accidents and raids on cookie stores. And Batman says that admissions to mental hospitals went up 20%. Citation needed? I feel like it can actually help. I mean, okay, there are some mental disorders that, yes, it can make worse, but I feel like there's also a lot that it can really help with. Like, it can also really help with depression and anxiety and stuff too. So, I mean, Gordon's like, makes you wonder, you know, like implying like that Gordon thinks maybe it should be legalized, and Batman's like, no, it doesn't. Like, oh my God, Batman, some people are poor. Some people have like crappy lives and feel bad all the time. Some people have chronic pain, Batman. Not all of us can go fight people every night, Batman. So yeah, now we cut to Tim giving this whole monologue about weed. I feel guilty about what happened to Norris. I wasn't there when he needed me. That's why I asked if I could say this to you today. That's so, like, hey, my friend did drugs, and I'm gonna tell the whole school about it. Like, HIPAA laws, Tim, HIPAA laws. One joint was enough to put Norris back in the hospital. I'm not saying that happens to everyone. We all know it doesn't. But I want all you dopers. I want all you dopers to ask yourselves this. Why do you do it? You do it to get stoned. You do it to get, oh, this is going to be fun. There's a lot of 90s slang coming up in this part. Wasted, to get smashed, caned, destroyed, out of it, off your face, out of your head. All expressions meaning you give up control of yourself. Tim, don't kink shame me. We're all blessed with a conscious mind capable of anything. Sounds able-bodied, but okay. We can solve all of the problems of the world with that mind, and yet you want to get smashed and ripped and wasted. Okay, listen, I feel like, though, is weed supposed to get you smashed, ripped, and wasted? Like, you can still be very, very creative and think, like, it doesn't completely, like, obliterate your mind. Well, not me. I want my mind to be in the best possible condition, the way it's meant to be, with me in control. And that's why I'll never take drugs. And then everybody clapped. Well, that's Batman Leaves of Grass. Batman Reefer Madness, if you will. Would have been really funny if this was about Jason Todd, because Jason Todd's first appearance, there's this little baggie of something on his floor, and it, like, everybody thinks it's weed. I mean, yeah, out of the entire Bat family, Jason Todd probably would be the most likely. Jason, then Stephanie, basically the anarchists. What, I don't have a question to ask for the comments, but comment something. I don't know. What do you think about drugs? Happy 420. If you're gonna do a weed, do it responsibly. Don't, like, drive or whatever after. Like, comment, subscribe, the YouTube things. Happy 420. I don't know. Drink water. Stay hydrated. On that note, bye.